Sorry, for introduction, we're just doing name and age. What we're doing?
Name and maybe just like what your relationship with Open Stage is. So you maybe said Jane Lowndes and a member of the Young Company.
Okay, thank you.
And you've done stuff with Biker and stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah, and I do open stages as well.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, we'll talk about all that.
Okay.
Cool. Excellent.
Sound and speed.
Excellent.
Am I in? Slate 1, take 2.
Cheers, Ori.
You all good?
Yeah, go on.
Right. So we'll just start off. Can you please introduce yourself and let us know your relationship with the Northern Stage?
My name's Jodie Wild. Don't know if you want my surname. I did Young Company.
So go again. We do what you said.
Okay, we're doing surname.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with this? Why am I like this?
You did great. It's all right. You haven't done this before.
No.
Then
Never.
what would you know how to do it? It's cool. Learning curve. Cool. Go again, Dobby.
Yeah, so we'll just start off, please, with your full name and your relationship with the Northern Stage.
My name's Jodie Wild, and I did Young Company for a few years until I was 21. I currently work with Open Stages, which is like a little youth theatre group thing. And I think that's what I've done.
Cool. So we'll start off at the start. So can you just talk us through your first show that you did with the Young Company?
Yeah, the first show that I did was Ella Gray with Lorne Campbell. And it was, I didn't do all of the weeks. We started off, the first week was a bit of on the stage in stage 1, which was cool because I'd never been on stage 1 before. Because I heard about Ella Gray because my friend Phoebe, she did a show beforehand, which was just a big company full of like women, girls. So she told me about Young Company, so that's why I did it. But with Ella Gray, it was basically like we were the chorus, like the Greek chorus. It was like a Greek thing. But I'd never heard of Ella Gray before, but it was good to learn about something new. We did a lot of movement stuff with Martin Hilton and his wife, which was good, which was completely out of my comfort zone because I'd never done dance and movement and stuff before. There was a time when me and Phoebe went and we couldn't do any of it. We were so uncomfortable to do it, but we weren't allowed to not do it, so we got forced to do it. But once we actually got stuck in, like, it was dead good. It was really fun. You don't have to do things perfect. You could just have a bit of fun. And then we did some voice stuff, singing, which is also out of my comfort zone, but it was all right. It was fun, but like it's not my thing that I enjoy doing really. We did a lot of voice stuff, like Greek chorus voice. Yeah, we went to Bamborough Beach, which was really good. It was like a full day out in the summer. We did a lot of the dance things that we were filming and practicing with Martin, and that got filmed on the beach and stuff, which looked really cool. We got fish and chips, and it was the first time I ever had mushy peas. Yeah, I think that's it.
Do you remember doing, sorry, Abby, can you ask her if she remembers doing her portrait straight at the camera and listening to if you had to choose a song? Ask her about her portrait.
Okay. So can you tell us a bit about when you had to do a portrait and look into the camera?
Yeah, we had to sit on the beach in the sand and look directly at the camera with the sun right in front of you and listen to a song. And my eyes were streaming because I've got really sensitive eyes, and I literally couldn't keep my eyes open because the sun was in my eyes and they were proper streaming. So I felt like it looked stupid, but Chris said that it actually looked all right. It looked natural, and yeah.
What about stuff with the tent and singing?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so we'll talk about a bit like with the tent, the singing. You said something about playing guitar.
Yeah, we'd set a tent up and we put like loads of fairy lights in it and stuff and cushions, and we all sat down in front of it and sang a song that we'd made up. And my prop was a guitar, and I was pretending to play it, but I couldn't play it, but it looked like I could. But it was dead fun. That was good. It was really nice to sing and be together as an ensemble. I thought it felt like a family kind of thing. It was good.
Yes, you just said like it felt like a family. Like, do you feel like you made a lot of like new, like good relationships through the process?
Yeah, I get quite anxious around people, but everyone was in the same boat really, and after a while, like, we all got on really well and loads in common and stuff like that. It was good, yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
Okay.
Any other, you need to go Frankie. There.
Sorry.
Go for me.
Thank you. See you later.
Any other questions anyone think of on that subject? No? Cool. Moving on.
While I wait for the door to close. Yeah. So following on from that, I know you've done another show as well. So maybe just talk us through that
Yeah.
one as well.
I did Where Do We Stand, which was like one of the best experience I've ever had. It was with Louie, and she's one of the most inspirational people in my life. She encouraged me to write my own piece and stuff, which was the first thing that I'd ever written. But it was basically like about me and my life and what silence means to me, because I feel like silence is really important in general, but also within a piece of performance, like a piece of theatre, because I feel like it speaks a lot louder than words sometimes. So she asked me to write something based on what silence is to me. And then eventually, like, during the writing process, it was really long. It was so long, but we had days where we would all just sit down as an ensemble and talk about random things and things that everybody's been through. And it was really weird because everybody had been through like really similar things, and everyone related to everyone in different ways. And then we'd met a few writers, one of them being Lee. And at first I didn't actually like his writing style because it was really poetic, and that wasn't really what I was into. I didn't feel like it was very natural, but eventually I started to like it, and it was dead good, and it flowed really well. Like, the people who performed the bits that he wrote, like, were amazing. Yeah, and then eventually, once the whole script had been written, we did a read through, and because my piece was so personal to me, I'd never read it in front of anybody before, but when I did, I just, like, I couldn't even get it out because I was crying so much, and then everybody else was crying, and it was, yeah, I had to leave. I had to go out of the room, but it was really good, and everyone was so supportive, and you just felt dead comfortable being with everybody. And then a couple of summers ago, I think it was 2018, we got shortlisted for Connections, and we took it to Birmingham, which was amazing. That week was just mint. We made friends with every other theatre company, and because there was quite a few people that were underage, there was a few rules that we had to follow and stuff, but it was quite frustrating at times. But Louis and everyone threw a surprise party on the very last day and invited everybody from all the other companies to come round, and it was just great. Yeah.
What about like differences between the two shows? 'Cause
I'm so sorry, I'm going to push you. 1 second. Can we have someone man on the camera and the sound, please? Just because if she leans forward and moves out of thing, she'll move out of focus. Can someone
Sorry.
you want it at the sound on that? That's fine, yeah. That's a different job anyway. You know what you're doing with sound, Max? Okay, so just talk for a second for us, Jodie, just go to 10, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Tap on that, right? And then that's the level there. So it's starting to get red. Turn that way. It's dropping below. So up here. Yeah. So it shouldn't be right about there, but yeah, just moderate it. That's it. It'll start to get the red. Just so it gets green. Sorry about that. Carry on. Thanks, Abby.
That's fine. Is everyone good?
Yeah.
So, what about like differences between the two shows? Because I know you said in Ella Grey you weren't actually on the stage.
Yeah. Ella Grey was, we, as the Greek chorus, we were just on the screen, and it was like a few of the things that we'd done over the course of the rehearsal process that was on the screen, and then it was just the main actor on the stage. And I felt like the stuff that was on the screen kind of took away from the stage because it was quite distracting. And then with Where Do We Stand, it was completely on stage, and it was like immersive, and everyone, it was like the audience was on both sides and stuff, and it was, yeah, it just felt more real. And like I always think a live performance is more personal, and like you can connect to it better with an audience and everything. Yeah.
Anybody got any more questions about Where Do We Stand? No? Okay.
But what about where you stand now?
Okay.
Any of the professional artists that you work with on Where Do You Stand that you want to talk about, like Lawrence or Mark or anyone like that?
Yeah, so is there any other professionals, any other artists that you work with that you would like to tell us about?
There was Mark, and he was the lighting design. I think he did the lighting.
Sound.
Was he sound? Who was lighting?
Sam, but it was sound and music, and he was part of the band, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I know what I'm going to talk about. Okay. What can I say? What does it have to be with professionals?
No, that's whatever you want.
Okay, we got I don't know if you know him, but he plays the buckets on Northumberland Street. He's called Lee. Like the drums, and we got him, and that was just amazing because it literally just felt like you were walking down Northumberland Street when he was just playing his drums, and that was great. And he's really nice. It was really nice to get to know him and about his background and stuff, because I would have never spoken to him any other reason. So that was dead good, and yeah.
Cool. So maybe what about like what you sort of thought about going into the two shows, and then maybe what you felt after? Like, you know, like did your expectations
Yeah.
were they met?
For Ella Gray, my expectations weren't met because I thought that we would be more on stage than we were, because obviously we were on screen. And a lot of the work that everybody put in wasn't shown on the actual performance, which was a shame. But with Where Do We Stand, I don't know, I didn't really have big expectations about that. It was just fun. I just really enjoyed it. It was great to just be in the moment, and it was just a really personal thing to me, and I think quite a lot of other people in the company as well.
So what about, like, you might have already mentioned it, maybe you can tell us a little bit more if you have. Just like a high point and not like the whole time that you've been as part of your company.
Probably when we went to Birmingham, just because we met like loads of new people, made loads of really good friendships, and it was just nice to be away from Newcastle and like Northern Stage, like the rehearsal space and stuff, and be in a different space. And we just got drunk every night. Which is fun, but yeah, it's just a really good memory that I'll always hold on to.
And then maybe like on the opposite end of that, is there any like challenges, like a big challenge that you felt like you've overcome throughout the time there?
Probably the singing and the movement, because that's always been a weakness of my skills, I guess. I've never really been comfortable with it and stuff, but it was, obviously as a performer, you have to go past your comfort zone and explore what you can do, because like your body can do anything that you make it do, really. Yeah, just that music. And
So another, maybe like one of the summarising questions, like what sort of impact do you think it has had on your life? Like maybe obviously now that you've been out for it for how long now? Like 5 years, would you say?
No, I didn't do it. It was after 2018, so I've not done it since 2018 in summer.
Yeah. So maybe just like if it's had like an impact on your life, how, like what you took away from it.
Yeah, so like, can we raise that question of like how is, cause this is about Northern Stage and 50, like maybe ask how Northern Stage has impacted.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe you could use the words Northern Stage in your answer as well.
Okay.
Please, Jo.
So we'll just ask how Northern Stage has impacted your life.
In loads of ways, really. Northern Stage has given me the opportunity to perform and explore my ability of performing, and in loads of different ways, meet new people, perform on stage, like in front of a camera, and also get a job out of it. Like I work there every weekend, and that's great, and it actually encouraged me to want to start working with kids as well, because I wanted to go into primary school teaching, because of how much I enjoyed working with like younger kids on the weekend. But yeah, it's just, I've just taken loads of memories from it, and people have just been so inspirational, and yeah.
So you just said you work for them on a weekend, so could you tell us a bit about that?
It's with Open Stages. So Open Stages is a younger version of Young Company from the ages of 5 to 15. And they just do workshops and rehearsals over the course of 2 terms, and then they do a little show at the end, like to their parents and stuff. And they devise it and write it, like, and come up with ideas, and they make things, and it's just great. Yeah.
That's all questions done.
Cool. Anyone else with any other questions? No. So I guess the final thing, Jodie, is to maybe look down the camera, and it's like happy. So it's, you know, happy birthday, happy 50th birthday on stage, some sort of message like that, whatever you want to say.
Okay. Happy 50th. Oh, I did it so wrong. Happy 50th birthday, Northern Stage. Thank you so much for everything you've done.